Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Bubba's Tango 18. I'm Bubba and this is the build. Today we're going to do a quick video on applying some Total Boat Gleam 2.0 onto this piece of wood. Whether it be a test or it actually turns out well and I just go ahead and use it. It's going to be the piece that we've shown in the videos, Instagram and YouTube, that we're putting the cleat on. I'm going to go ahead and shellac on there, some varnish, and just see how it looks. I intend on using the same gleam on the tow rail going around the boat, and I just want to put it on here and see how it looks on the okume first. This wood is ultimately, when it gets built, will be black walnut and a hard maple. I've got the black walnut, not the hard maple, but I'm just trying to think of another lighter wood that's hard and dense that will work and look good. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're looking at today. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, then please consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button and put on your post notifications. All right, thanks a lot. So what I'm thinking with this is I was going to use the actual piece of wood, but I do want to do a test. So I'm going to do everything wrong and see how good of a product comes out. So I got this piece, haven't sanded it, haven't done anything to it. I might throw a little sand on it, but I don't want to get any more dust in the air than might already be. So I'm going to put a couple, put a coat on here. They say you can coat. I don't have a horsehair brush, I got a chip brush. So we're going to do that. And I got a little can of Gleam. So we're going to do that, but I'm going to mix it up. And depending on how well this turns out, then we'll get into the filler part that you put down prior to the Gleam, and the sanding and in between coats. So I might still sand it in between coats. I just want to, for a general idea, I want to see how it looks when it goes down. I want to see how it dries, how it, put the electric heater on it, and put my little tent. That's what I could do, is put my little tent over this area with the electric heater inside of it. So I'm going to get my screwdriver and crack that open. Alrighty, well, here we go. See what I'm working with. Oh. So if I work here, yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got this, just okume, and I'm just going to brush with the grain of the veneer. I've been shaking the you-know-what out of this Gleam. I just got a small can. I think Gleam looks the best. I've seen Lust and everybody else, but so I'm not straining this. I'm not doing anything. I am going to stir it. I'm going to stir it with a new stirring stick. Make sure there's no sediment on the bottom, which doesn't feel like there is. Like I said, it's a video about doing everything wrong. So, actually my board here, how much time in between? Alright, minimum overcoat times are 1 hour at 80 degrees and 3 hours at 65 degrees, or 8 hours at 50 degrees. Alright, so the game plan is I'm going to throw a sheet of plastic over to this, put my electric heater on underside of this, and then come back in an hour and recoat. So I'm going to keep coming back every hour and recoat. So it is 2 o'clock, and if I do this, I can recoat. I can, 6 coats or 8 coats. Maybe take it outside, do a little sand in between. Alright, this might be a good little test. Well, side story, I had my heater going on in here and it decided to self-combust. No actual flame, but All the plastic parts got superheated. I don't know why. There was no leaking gas. There was no, I don't know. So now my whole shop smells like burnt plastic. Got to figure out how to get that smell out of here. But 2 hours later, more than that, 4 hours later, we can finally put a second coat on the this piece that we were working on before. So where I can actually tolerate being in this room. All right, well, let's do that. Yeah, this is a problem that we're having, that I'm having. What we've done here is we've gone ahead and hit it with a 240 grit on the DA. We've wiped it down with our favorite solvent, and we're getting ready to open up the can of Gleam here, Gleam 2.0 from Total Boat, which we're using for this this test. This is coat number, I think this is coat number 3 at this point, when we hit it with the DA, it really flattened out the piece that we're using, and we're continuing as we add more coats. This Gleam varnish is filling in any imperfections or any. Now what you see here is I've got the new brush, and it's just a chip brush. It's a cheap brush. Like I said, I'm not doing everything correctly here. I just want to see what kind of results that we get with with using basics. Now I'm sanding in between the coats, but I'm not using a horsehair or a boar's hair brush. You know, I didn't use the filler before I started my very first coat. You know, I'm not doing a lot of things properly, but I just want to see if this really the build quality of as we lay down layers, and the depth of the varnish, and how it turns out. Just doing menial, you know, not perfect application, but good enough. So I'm looking here just to make sure I have caught all the areas that we need to, and I'm getting ready to put this away, and going to let it dry. It's 56 degrees right now, and this needs an hour minimum. I'm sorry, 8 hours at 50 degrees to dry. Alrighty. It's 6:30 a.m. on Turkey Day. I'm going to give this a light sand with 240. Knock down the shininess. Make sure it's flat. Hit it with our favorite solvent. Let that air dry. Since my heater caught on fire yesterday, I'm forced to, the directions say 8 hours at 50 degrees. So that's what we're doing. Putting the Gleam 2.0 on here, 8 hours at 50 degrees. That was coat number 3. We'll see how the day goes. Maybe I'll hook the heater up in here. It's like I'm doing 2 tests at once. All I'm doing here is just cleaning the excess out of this brush. All right. Well, we took it inside. We let it sit out here for like an hour, and it got to the point where it didn't want to run anymore. So we took it inside, and put it in front of a heater inside, sped up the drying process. You know, this is, since it's just for a test, I'm not going to wait 8 hours. I like to get 8 coats on it, you know. So it camera going. It's got a nice sheen going to it, and it's flattening out. It's flattening out pretty well. So what I'm going to do as before, I'm going to hit it with the 240 and flatten it out. Okay. Hit it with our favorite solvent. We're going to keep on doing this process over and over again until we get up to about 6 coats. And this should be coat number 4. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just tip it right now and see how that looks. Let that sit for an hour, then we'll take it inside, put it in front of the heater, and let it bake. I'm thinking if I want really good, like I said, this is just a test to see how much depth I can get into it. But I'm thinking when you get into your final coats, even if you use a cheap brush or a roller or whatever the case, when you get to the end, you really want to use like a, what they call a hot dog foam roller, or the boar's head brush when you get down to those last few coats, and maybe a Scotch-Brite pad or an even higher grit. So 300, 320 grit sandpaper, Scotch-Brite pad to knock down the sheen, and then a tight foam roller, and a really nice brush. So everything I'm not doing, as I said. So we'll see. We'll see where this gets us.